In the middle of August 2023, the Centre for Fortean Zoology sent a 4-man team to Tajikistan, a landlocked country in Central Asia. The team, Richard Freeman, Dr. Chris Clark, John Hare and Dr. Darren Naish, were following in the footsteps of a previous expedition of ours back in 2018 and searching for evidence of a semi-mythical wildman called the Ghoul, and for the continued existence of the Caspian Tiger, a subspecies believed to have been extinct since the 1970s. This is their story. So Richard, first of all, welcome back to dear old Blighty. How long were you out in Tajikistan?
Just 2 weeks.
And what was your main objective for being out there?
Well, this expedition was Chris Clark's idea. And of course he had edited the manuscript of Boris Prozhniev that we turned into a book translated by Lars Thomas and Co. And it contained lots of stuff that has never been seen in the West before. And some of the accounts were from an area along the Karatag Valley, particularly around Lake Peyron, where a family of these relic hominins had been seen back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and tracks on numerous occasions, and he thought it might be a good place to visit.
Is this the place that he's been talking about for years, about wanting to go to?
Well, he'd been talking about wanting to go to Tajikistan for years. His original idea was to rent a helicopter and take us up to some remote pass, and then we'd come down on foot. But I think the price was a bit prohibitive. But we were closer to Dushanbe, the capital, than before. So it's closer to Dushanbe than the Romit Valley, where we concentrated on in 2018.
Did you find that as it was closer to the capital city that it was less wild, I think?
Yes, it was considerably less wild than the Romit Valley. There was much more human disturbance there.
Right, well, hi, we're in the Karatag Valley, is that how it's pronounced?
Karatang Valley, I believe.
And as you can see, absolutely spectacular scenery. It's marked by really impressive high rocky peaks, quite jagged. Been doing some looking at the geology, but otherwise it's kind of mixed deciduous woodlands. Sort of has kind of like slightly Mediterranean feel to it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Greece.
Yeah.
Greece.
Well, I've noticed a lot of the trees are like flower trees. There's lots of fruit trees around. There's lots of willow trees. In fact, we're right next to the river here. Very, very fast flowing river. An enormous amount of water here, actually. And much of the river is fringed by young and mid-aged willows. Willows are sort of, good. Lots of animals like eating willow. They're very rich in things like phosphorus and calcium and such. Even people can eat them. And quite an abundance of animal life. We've already seen a long list of that you'd expect to see in the region. There's corvids and dippers and wagtails and stuff, and insects, quite a few butterflies, lots of grasshoppers, a large kind of grasshopper, about 5 centimeters long, seen quite a few of those. But I'm also noticing an awful lot of human activity. So there's lots of rubbish everywhere. There are quite a few settlements. Right now where I'm standing, I can see what looks like an inhabited house just across the other side of the river. There's another one probably about 400 meters away from us. There's quite a few beekeepers. We're seeing lots of hives, box hives, made ones. And there's noticeable damage done to the slopes by overgrazing. So if you find a fenced-in area, it's very well grassed, but immediately where the fence stops is completely bare ground on the other side. So the skeptical side of me is not particularly optimistic about there being mysterious large and wild animals there. It's certainly a beautiful habitat, and it does feel quite wild.
Considerably less wild than the upper reaches of the Romit Valley, the two forks of the Romit Valley. up to this point, anyway, I don't know, we're going on foot further up. I don't know what that would be like. We'll have to see how it pans out. We'll talk to some of the locals, see if there's been any sightings of Ghoul or Caspian tigers. But maybe if it's not a super abundant area in terms of sightings and things, we might move on somewhere else. I don't know, but it's certainly a lot less remote than the Rommet Valley that we did in 2018.
How did this affect the sighting reports that you got of the ghoul?
Well, the only sightings of the ghoul we got, the only accounts, were from a long time ago. There was one man who had seen it in 1988 around the Lake Peyron area, and another man said that he remembered that when he was a boy in 1978 in the village of Hakimi, an old man had seen one and been frightened to death by it, and the villagers followed the tracks and saw two of these creatures together. And there was another sighting of two of them together in a different area of the valley as well. But they were all back in the 70s and 80s, unlike the Rommet Valley where we had sightings from very recently.
It's probably more secure than it looks like. I've been across bridges that are far more rickety than this. Hang on, John won't know we've gone this way unless we...
I was surprised when I saw the footage how many rivers and streams there were, with the ground still looking very desiccated and dusty. Each of the rivers had designated crossing points and bridges, and here, in a bridge which looked like it had seen better days, John Hare went across. However, he wasn't supposed to go that way, so Darren went off to collect John, and then, showing how intrepid he was, our own Richard Freeman decides not just to follow them, but to film himself following them with his camera in one hand, which was far more foolhardy than anything I would have dared to attempt. Well done, Richard. And once they had crossed the bridge, the expedition team went further up into the mountains towards Lake Peyron.
Well, this may have put a spanner in the proverbial works. This bridge across these rapids is down. So if we can't cross somewhere else, that's getting to the lake well and truly screwed. This is the mad thicket we're coming up through to try and find the way to the lake. Nobody seems to quite know the way.
Richard, you okay?
No, I've had a rest, I'm fine. My asthma means I can't go too fast in the heat.
All out individual variation, like you said.
Well, this is a veritable Sylvian labyrinth. We can't find the path. All the paths we think lead to the lake are just petering out. This is the trouble of not having a guide who knows what they're doing and where to go. So this is the only time on an expedition we've had a guide who isn't au fait with the area. Before we went, I thought he was. I thought he knew it and knew the way up to the lake, but apparently he's never been, and we are on our own in the wilderness. We are babes in the wood.
Hello.
Where? To Mudara? To Mudara?
По-русскому можете говорить?
To Mudara? Heron?
Ich heiße Fazilo.
Yosef?
Parion, озеро Parion.
Heron?
Там озеро есть. Вот я их
To Mudara?
Нет, Тимурда здесь. Parion он с помощью.
Yeah. To Mudara?
Parion.
Heron?
Heron.
Yes. Heron? Hey. Heron.
Parion.
Heron.
Parion.
Heron.
Parion.
Heron. And to Mudara?
Там озеро большое.
Heron? To Mudara?
Это там Parion. Потом есть источник горячей вода Ходжа Хасан. Там горячая вода 36 градусов и в зиме, и в летом. Оно полезно для суставной болезни. Если у тебя ноги болят, зайдешь, скупайся полчаса.
We tried to cross the river up here.
Yeah, I think
The
it's talking
bridge, the
about.
bridge,
Тяжко.
the bridge has collapsed. Yeah.
Перевал.
Yeah, we're like we're trying to cross up here. And there's a bridge, you know, but it's like so we were like we couldn't cross.
Я вас буду
Do
сопровождать.
you know how to cross? Cross the river.
Когда вы будете приехать на следующий раз, найдите меня, я вас буду сопровождать до этих мест.
Where are you going to the?
Пешком.
Not one I've heard of.
On the way back, we met a donkey caravan with some locals, and we got talking to one chap who didn't know a word of English, but with sign language and scribbling things on the floor and things, we managed to communicate, and he intimated to us that all of the bridges were down and there was no way to Lake Peyron without crossing the rapids, which were impossible on foot.
You feel
This sequence of film is not terribly good. The sound is awful because we were next to a river and the light was going. But the landowner, a man called Wildman, turned up and he told us, he spent most of the evening with us in fact, and he told us that there'd been a farm and cultivation on the land for about 70 years, and he had never seen the Ghoul himself, but back in the 1960s a Russian man and a Russian woman were in the area and they saw a whole family of Ghoul, but as they approached the creatures they retreated back into the mountains. At first I thought this might have been Marie-Jeanne Kaufmann, the legendary hominid researcher, and Boris Prushnev, but then I remembered that Kaufmann had only ever seen one Ghoul, and that was at a distance in the Caucasus Mountains in Russia, so this couldn't have been her, and as far as I know Prushnev had never seen any, but he did see tracks.
This dog, and there are several of them around the camp that we've been feeding, this dog is polydactyl. If you look on her back legs, if she turns round, she's got extra claw on her back legs. Let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. Extra claws. Oh, aren't you clever having extra claws? You are, yes.
Quite common in quite a few breeds.
I woke up this morning and felt pretty terrible. I felt incredibly drained and Even so much as putting my shoes on felt like a huge effort. And also I've got a terribly upset stomach. I'm having the same malady as the last time I was in Tajikistan. Thankfully not nearly so bad. I've taken some medicine for it. But I am so washed out that I can't face the climb up to the lake today. Our guide has found us a little route up. So the others are going to press on, and I'm going to wait here and go back to camp. Hopefully I'll be alright tomorrow to carry on as normal. But I'm going to have a day of rest today because I feel so terrible.
Hi, this is Chris Clark. It's August 21st, 2023, and we're at a lake called Timur Dara at altitudes of something like 2,000 meters in Tajikistan. We had a very stiff climb up here from the Karatag Valley, and the first time we attempted it we got totally lost, which was yesterday. We had to come back, find a local guide, and he led us right up to this lake. It's one of the hardest climbs I've ever made, but looking at this, the turquoise lake, the mountains behind it, I would say it was well worth it.
Not too far, not too far. You've got to do the faces. Yeah. Oh my. That's actually very. That's actually very, very good. That's very, very good.
On this day, Richard, poor chap, was poorly and he stayed back down at the camp at the bottom of the mountains. It does look absolutely spectacular, and I was surprised to see how clear the water is, and because it's so blue it must be very deep. Sadly, I didn't see any fish in the water, which is something I always look for whenever the boys film streams or lakes for me. I'm sure if I'd been there I would have spent most of my time grubbing around under stones in the little streams to see what small beasts I could discover. And it is looking at places like this that makes me feel so sad that I'm probably never going to be able to go on an expedition like this ever again. And I'm veritably itching to be able to find out what small creatures live in this lake. It is apparently somewhere that has got a culture of angling, so there are presumably some big fish, but I've always been more interested in the little creatures that are further down the food chain.
Dr. Darren Naish will now describe the environment of Lake Timur Dara.
Well, hello, and here we are at the very beautiful, picturesque Lake Timur Dara, surrounded by very high rocky mountains and quite a deep lake. Not sure how deep it is, but it's very turquoise and blue in the middle, so I'm guessing it's deeper than 10 meters or something. Doesn't seem to have much in the way of interesting plant life. It appears to be just algae around the edges, and there's no obvious signs of fish life in the lake, but we've been told that there are indeed fish in here. In similar lakes that you might find in Europe and Western Asia, you'd expect animals like char and salmon to be living in the lake. Maybe that's the case here, I don't actually know. On the downside of things, there is substantial evidence for continual human presence all around the lake. There's footprints absolutely everywhere. There's litter absolutely everywhere. There's a massive amount of evidence for constant visitation by cattle. So loads of cow tracks everywhere, bits of shed cow skin. And the edges of the lake really any good for, I was hoping we might find, say, muddy patches where you can actually look for animals that might come down to the water to drink. But the edges really aren't built like that. They're steeper, they're rocky, they are dry and fine, very fine sediment in places. So tracks are left quite easily, but as I've said, it's dominated by human tracks and cattle tracks. We have found 3 different masses of bear scat right in the middle of various of the paths, so pretty sure there are bears living in these mountains. There's abundant bird life. I've been recording various birds that I've seen, including falcons and various passerines. And I found a single track of what appears to be a mid-sized cat. I have photographed it. Mid-sized cat, I'm thinking most likely a lynx, nothing bigger than that. But the fact that dogs come here occasionally, we are accompanied ourselves by a dog, that means you've really got to be careful in terms of the tracks you're looking at. So it's a beautiful place and I'm pleased that we've come here. But that about wraps up everything I have to say on it.
Ask each of them if they've ever seen animals like on these cards.
شما در همین کوه‌ها یگان حیوانات‌های وحشی دیدگی یا نه؟
خیرش بود.
نه من خیلی حالتی مایمون هست کو.
مایمون نیست در اینجا. نه نشه در اینجا. این نون اون نامده. نه.
یا سولوی سویتی در آتیما لسنی بود. پی همینو این لکیم گرفته در گازeti لیلی فرانسیا برامدگی بود صورت.
همین یک معلومات بالا بدودن سال 1975
ممکن هم سال آن هوای.
In 1975 years, these people live family.
Oh, is this?
Yeah. In 1975, yes.
1975.
Yeah.
The creatures like this lived here.
Yeah. At this moment, no.
No,
Live.
yeah.
No live.
Have any of these men seen a creature like this?
They see this man father sees.
His father.
His father sees these mountains.
O tam دیدگی بود.
His
صورت
father.
شگیری شدن فرانسیا گازeti ژورنال لیلین بود یا ژورنالی هم با صورت شروع کردم ژورنال.
His father give picture and send to French. Yeah. Send to French.
یا
This picture.
Picture of the creature.
Yeah. Sees mountains. Give picture.
What,
and
like
send
with a camera?
Yeah. Phone.
Oh.
Give
In
picture and
1975?
send. Yeah.
Well, not 1975. There's no.
No
phones.
phone. Picture different to phone.
Oh, you mean camera?
Yeah. No camera. Old camera.
Old camera.
Old,
yes,
very old
old
camera. Yeah. Old camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
همون سال 1975 سال با هم صورت گرک بود.
همون صورت گرفت
صورت گرفت.
یا تادمی خارجی همون سامدگی بود. همون تمام بعد میکنم میگردم بعد میگم.
The father go friend to French. He give picture and photo.
Right.
No give picture. The people French give picture this place as this animals.
So we're French people here.
Yeah.
And the French people
in
took the photograph.
1975 by this place go and give picture this animals.
Yeah.
At this moment, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his father saw it.
Yes.
As well.
Father, yes.
His father did his father tell him what happened when he saw it?
Yeah.
Where was it and what occurred when he saw it? What happened when his father saw the creature?
همین اون تاریخش هست می؟
چیزا
همین انسانایی که همین زندگی میکنن تاریخ داشتن یا نداشتن چه؟
بعد این کارگردان لیس خوش بود. استراتژی هم گذاری بود. من اومدم زندگی میکردم بعد کارگردان لیس خوش بودم.
بسیار بودن ده هم فیلم میگشتن. In Soviet period, historical, in Soviet period,
Did he say how big?
very big, yeah, very
Bigger than man.
همین خدو بلندوشون بالدروز بود یا پس
کیا؟
منم که انسانایی که بودم
خیلی نویا کنم
این نوع دیدگی نیستیم
فقط
در اینجا.
هم پایش
No see the animal, only his father.
His father
Yes,
saw it.
father
Yeah.
see.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
They are very small at this
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
We took with us a number of what we call flashcards, which had reconstructions of creatures like Gigantopithecus and relic hominins like Homo erectus and Homo habilis on it, as well as modern day pictures of apes. The one the gentleman is holding here is Homo floresiensis, although I think he wasn't saying that this is what it most looked like. He just happened to be talking when he was looking through the cards and stopped when he was holding that one. Most of the people, when asked to pick out what the creature looked like when they saw it, this time around picked the famous painting of two yetis in a snowfield. The first time around, back in 2018, the one that they picked out the most was a picture of a skunk ape from Lyle Blackburn's book about the Beast of Boggy Creek, and they said the structure of the hands on that was most like.
Yeah. So what animals do they know here? We know there are bears here.
And wolves.
Are there wolves here?
Yeah, as a wolf and as a gurgu khirsa. Yeah, very many sheep, cows, bear, wolf. Kitchens.
How much you
پلنگای خالدار کوخی اینو مشتیبه پلنگای خالدار است که دومش دراز و ما همینجا دیدیم
The big wolf bear sees this mountain.
Have any of them, any of these gentlemen, have they seen a tiger?
Tiger.
A tiger.
No.
You know what a tiger is?
زمستان میبود و اینجا
In winter time. In winter time.
Снежный барс, снежный барс.
Да.
Снежный барс. خشخالدو قاس صغور هست
Panzer. Panzer, understand?
Don't know that word. But
Yeah, panzer. Leopards and panzer.
No, tiger.
yeah,
No, tiger,
so
not
like
tiger.
like that, but with the stripes.
I'll draw one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, big tiger.
Yeah, that's a tiger. Stripes.
Oh no, tiger.
Yeah, we should have found out what the Tajik word was.
снежный барс.
Did you take any film of that tiger on the back of the car? Oh, you didn't. Has anybody got a pen? Yeah.
Sure.
Let's draw a tiger. Forgive my draftsmanship.
I'm a good drawer. Well, you're good enough. You're a good drawer.
ماشین قطعه اون دیگه ایتا پیاده هم تیز کنه پول میگذارم بازور میشتیم خیلی اصلا دور میشه نه دور میشه نه تاویستان در کخیم تا چرا مورو بار باشه
Did you see us نمیگرفت اصلا؟
نه کنه
David Shepherd's got nothing to worry about.
It's magnificent.
So this is tiger.
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 Koshka.
Tiger. Like a moor, like
Cat, yeah?
You see
Cat.
Tiger.
Yeah,
But
tiger.
big.
Tiger.
Big.
Big. Man.
Tiger.
Yes.
Tiger.
Tiger, yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger, yeah, very many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiger هستن پلنگ.
هستن.
هست.
پلنگای هم چیز آخه
Yeah, tiger.
When?
Fisher?
But
دومش دراز
شوی است
Very many.
گربه کوهی ای کو
yeah.
Long, yeah?
گربه کوهی
Tiger, yeah.
Big.
Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Tiger.
O boyu من
Tiger.
پلنگ زده گوشت کافی
همین چیزی که همین کشیده این مانندی پیشکی یوبویی پیشکی یوبویی همه خیلی میشه پیشکی یوبویی تاش من همین چیزی در میاد
و آدم اقفاش گشته
این پیشکی یوبویی در داخل میشه و در نام داره این
Wild cat.
No, this is the wild cat is this one. Tiger is this one. Yeah.
Vay pişeki yok. Boş boş mayda kadar.
Man.
In talon.
Man.
Tiger palang.
Man. Tiger. Man.
Ya ama hala
Tiger.
böyle palanga yok.
Big tiger, wasn't it? Yeah.
Var tala ya.
Bars.
Dedeki yeah. Çumonluk ya.
Do you remember the car?
Ya boyu
The car down
Ne
there.
paronası?
Yeah.
Ve mümkün değilse go saydı ama şikoyu oldu meram. Ben sizi am kile.
Yeah, the big mountains. Yeah, tiger.
Have any of these men seen a tiger?
شما دیدگی ما
چیزا؟
همین تایگر دیدگی
ما خیلی بلند هم دیدگی من
سی
سالای بچگیم ده هم بالا من تیرم زد
کدام سالا بود حوزی بنده یا
دوره بچگی
یه حوزی رو هم گوش کنه دا ما
حوزی رو
هم
هم
دیدیم
هست،
من
بچه ها
هیچی
میگن.
خیلی میزنن آخی همه دیدم میزنن شون
نه میزنن و هجوم میکنن
وای مولای چیز میکنه دا مولا
When did you see the
خیرس اینو همه
only the tiger the big mountains maybe eating sheep cows
eating sheep
and cows
But was this a long time ago, or
yeah in the
اینو
winter
اینجا
go by
خیلی
down
دیدگی نیستن
نه وای دیدیم تیمور داره هم اخلاقش دیدیم
ولی شاو دامو تگه چه مغزا گریگر میبینی پایده شینی
خوب دیده
نه in Timur there are very many beer
Yep.
midnight coming near the lake
Oh yes, well, we've seen the bear.
خیرس خوب اینو بسیار
beer very many
Yeah. But when can you find out when was the tiger? When did he see the tiger in the mountains? Does he know a year?
Yeah.
Like 2000 or 1990 or 1980?
When did he see the tiger?
سالای من گده 16 17 ساله بودم دا
His men
این سالای 70
16 17 years
65
see
66
the tiger 1960 yeah
The year 1960.
1960 yeah.
Well, that's still pretty interesting.
نداری آقلا دارم ده سوری بزای کشته گفت که من بابای من این تیاق جزده کشته گیشه
go in our people will go to home eating donkey eating sheep eating cow and go
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We know because there were tigers here. We know 100 years ago they lived here.
yeah at this moment no
But well, yeah. People we know people in Tajikistan say they see them,
yeah
but they're supposed to be extinct.
Yeah, maybe very rare.
Yeah. And so if they are here now, yeah, that's what we're trying to find out. Do people see them today, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago?
یا سمسا کردن جلوت داری اینو پلیکالا اون داد تماشا بیانم
So they don't believe they are here now. They don't think tigers live.
یا کردم برو آروم بشه
at
بانو
this moment
بگیرم
no live here
At the moment, not. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Well, that's pretty good. So please make sure that you say thank you for their time for talking to us. Very kind.
Very helpful.
Another elder was 68-year-old Tura, who had lived with his wife and daughters in Hakimi since 1984. He invited us for tea in his summer house. He said that many families had left to live in Dushanbe, and about 10 families were now left in the village.
Great. Can I have some more tea, please?
من دیدم همه
حیوانات از اون تاسم
سیب یک ما دورتر بوده انمی بولی بود
That's Homo habilis. So this gentleman has been here
بوده که دراز بود
since 1982.
this Wildman very long
دراز بود
Very tall.
very tall yeah
دراز بود با من دوش بکنم فلان چه گفتم
Yes, man.
اون نگاه میکنم گرد یا میگم با بالاتر میرد با میسمن نگاه
they
کرد
ask coming here no coming here and slowly go by up
یا خودش بوده ها؟
یا خودش همه کل پرونیش هم خیلی دیدم در رنگ
main wild
دراز بود نگه
very high very long
Very tall.
tall yeah
How taller than a man?
تقریبا چند معلوم بود 3 متر بود
2 متر بود
2 meters plus maybe 2 meters 30 centimeters
And when was this? 1988.
بعد دوام باید چخش بود
برو من رفت همه بولو من رفتم لوی کل رفتم لوی
Can you ask him which one it looks
توریستای
the most
بسودم
like?
در
He's chosen this one. Yeah.
Ah,
So long dark hair.
long yeah سیاه بودن
سیب
very many black
black سیب سیاه
Yes.
بودم
What about skin?
yeah no eyes only the voice black only see the eyelash چند متر راستیانتون بود
شاید 1 کیلومتر بود دارن. خیلی دور بود.
Sees you another 1 kilometer maximum. This man see this wild man.
Well, that's how far away
Yeah.
it was.
Distance. This is mountains. The down. This wild man go to up.
Okay.
Talking.
نه من دوش میگم بیا گفتم برو مرد با من میگو ای کجا میری بیا میگم رحمتی دولت بود که اول بر شهری بودیم با من گفتم این دولت هایده با ما رفتن گیری بعد رفتم پیش هم گیولوگو رفتم گیولوگو ما بردیم و پیش رفتم من کیش دولت رحمتی امورده شته است من گفتم این خود تو در اونجا بودی بالا که من اصلا نرفتم بود ما گفتم هی اونجا تو نبودیم نیگو تا کی بود همه خیلی چیز چوی کلان گفتم من دوش کردم برونده رفت سوده و من قاق دولت در بیو گفتم دوش بکنم که هم من فکر کردم که هم آدم دار
Man thinks maybe your friend is Dawlat. Hey, coming, Dawlat, coming.
Oh.
He only wild man sees this man. No, speaking to this man and goes slowly by up. 80, yeah.
And he was 1 kilometre away.
1 kilometer distance. This man is
Right.
Was it on 2 legs or on 4 legs?
Ozi, همون وقتی شما دیدید 4 پا ایراد داشته بود یا 2
دو پا همین رنگ آدم
I thought it was his friend.
Maybe men. Train 2 men, 2 heads.
2 legs.
2 foot.
So he thought it was a friend, another man he knew. That you said the name.
Dawlat.
Dawlat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he thought it was a man that he knew. When in the day was this that he saw the wild man? In the morning, afternoon,
کدام
evening,
وقت بود دیگه تو سحر بود عبید بود بگو
من همین وقت بود ده
lunchtime. Okay.
وقت کلا من پایون لبی او اومدگی او خورده بعد برونده رفتن با من ممکن
many
نه
wild
برای اینکه او مسئول دریا و همین طریق دریا بوده کلا من اومده او
July times
July.
lunch times they are coming near the river water eating water
Yes.
and see the no people go quickly eating water
Yes.
and go by up.
Okay. Yeah. So this was in the summer.
In summer. Ya vay budan, Toviston budan.
من همیشه بود
In
So
summer.
he's seen them
Summer.
drinking from the river as well?
No. Only there are no see they are drinking. Only people discussing.
Yeah.
And lunch time they go by down eating drink water and go quickly to up because the up no water. Only one times lunch. Only lunch go to drink water and go to up.
Okay. So they think they come down at lunchtime. Oh, there's miners. I've got to try and...
خیلی خوب بوده معلومات خوب بوده اینو همه چیز مدبور بود اون همیشه
How did he know that this wasn't just another human being?
Right?
How did he know that this wasn't just another person, another human?
I mean just
No, so what was it that made him know it was
A wild man.
a wild man, not just a man? Yeah. Well, was it the hair and the height, or
very many height,
very tall,
very tall,
hairy?
very tall,
So he said it was hairy. So
Levi Joy,
and he didn't respond to it.
But has he only ever seen it once?
Yeah, only once.
Only once.
Yeah, only
Does he know anybody else who has seen wild men?
Yeah.
Does he know of anybody else who has seen wild men?
In the village? Anybody else? Yeah.
No. In the village, no.
Just him.
Just him.
Ah.
No, but has he heard of other people seeing a wild man?
شما همین وایبا نقل بود او هم جدید بعد یا اون در آدمی خودتون نقل من تو آدمی
نقل کردم صبحم نقل کردم هر سال می اومدم همون مسکو 6 کس 7 کس می اومدن
میدیدن همون خیلی آدمی
نه نمیدیدن و همین سنه چلوه قتل گفته می اومدن نمیدیدن.
After talking this story another people go to Russian. They are talking to Russian people.
Yeah.
Every year, every time they go to Pyron Lake, no sea. They are after 5 years coming by this place and go by up, no sea. The wise men, no sea.
We were surprised to learn that a group of Russians had been in the village just 3 days before us, also asking questions about the Wildman. And apparently they've been visiting Pyron Lake for around 5 years.
من دین هفتم یه هفته شد 3 تا زنه گم بود اماسکو اومدن پیرو رفتن تیمور داره بعد اینجا اومدن و گفتن اسکندرپول بریم و اینجا اومدن پرسیم که سینه چلوه من دم حاضی نیست پیش بود حاضی نیست نیدیم و گفت یه پریدوی شو بود من با میبیم بود
3 days ago the group go to Russian Federation. They ask this mountain very many wild men. We go by see this wild men. The man ask no at this moment wild men. They ask yes. In very up mountains live. They live. Small family, maybe big family live in mountains. Maybe to Iskandar Lake, up heart of Alexander in Iskandar Lake. Maybe they go by this place. Very many high mountains, above sea level 4,000 and 5,000.
The people from Russia contacted him 3 days ago.
3 days ago by this place. 3 days.
Ah, so they came here.
Okay, coming here and ask maybe you see the wild man in this mountain. They ask for me, no, only 88 I see. At this moment, no, see this wild man. They are speaking, at this mountain very many wild men, yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's great.
There's somebody else looking for wild men. Another lost
Please, I know.
Very interesting.
Great. He's big enough.
doğru kul ve kul meşhur. Magda mas hadrum arka andık yakap namak andık tamam.
Şaya konuşalım.
Hava kul basış.
I'll pause for a second, yeah?
Yeah, pause for a second.
A normal animal or not?
همین آدمایی که شما سال 88 آمدید بود اما آدم‌ها همینجا به زندگی میکنن که شما عمدتان به آرزویسا به بالا برون رفتن
وای همه سینه چلوه می نمیدونم در کجا بیفته همینجا بیاد پیدا شد
دمی موبید چی موجود
دیگه
کوبا بالا با
کوبا
پیش دریان
پیش پیدا اکو پول است اینجا نیدی
In years 80 this wild men live near the Pyron Lake. Small house. Small house.
Yeah.
And very big, not small, and very big house. They go maybe sleeping very high, very long.
Yeah.
In 80 years, live near the Pyron Lake. They live to lake, near the lake.
Yes.
Stay here. And after 80 years, by this place go to people, slowly go people and stay here and live here. They see the people and slowly go by up.
They're
Right.
retreating
Yes.
from Earth.
Okay.
80 years ago they were up there.
Yeah. Normal animal or not?
همین آدمایی که شما سال 88 آمدید بود اما آدم‌ها همینجا به زندگی میکنن که شما عمدتان به آرزویسا به بالا برون رفتن
وای همه سینه چلوه می نمیدونم در کجا بیفته همینجا بیاد پیدا شد
Dami movie چی مود بدی؟
ای کوبا بالا با
کوبا
پیش پدریان
پیش پدریان اکول پولون اینجا بود نیدی
In years 80, this Wildman live near the Pyron Lake. Small house. Small house.
Yeah.
And very big, not small, and very big house. They go maybe sleeping very high, very long.
Yeah.
In 80 years, live near the Pyron Lake. They live to lake, near the lake.
Yes.
Stay here. And after 80 years, by this place go to people, slowly go people and stay here and live here. They see the people and slowly go by up.
They're
Right.
retreating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
80 years ago, they're up.
Yeah.
خب بدون نشون میده تمام شما کاملا خلاص بدون نشون میده همه آدم دیده است همه آدم نخ کرد
Keeps it quite still, look. Doesn't move much. Pretty cool.
I am finished.
The wild man, does he think it is an animal or a spirit like a jinn?
همین نمودی شما دیدگی همین رنگ میمون یا رنگ آدم بود؟
رنگ آدم میمونی رنگ آدم
No animals, only people.
It's like a person, yeah. So it's not a spirit?
No spirit.
Not a jinn?
Yeah.
Not
No
a
jinn,
jinn?
no jinn, yeah.
مثلا درنده نمیاد اینجا
چی مثلا؟
گرب دیگه گرب خرس خوب هست گرب
خیز خومره خوب بسیار گرگم بید
Has he ever seen a tiger? Tiger.
شما همین که با گاهی دیدگی می پلنگا.
پلنگ بسیار
Very many tiger. Yeah, very many.
بیاد شد
Tiger.
Very many.
آزاد پلنگا
حالا هم جو بیوزمی سوم نزکوم بعد بزن خودم بیو
In winter time, very many snow, they are coming down.
That's exactly what they said in the Romic Valley.
Yeah.
Exactly what they said.
Yeah. And they're big cats.
Big tiger.
دروز دوماش بنا عمق هست دوماش
Right.
دوماش دروز خودشان دروز
Full
بنا
arm
خیلی
stretches there. So
Yeah.
definitely talking about big. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
Is this
بعد
in?
اوهمه گرنج اوهمی سور است
yeah.
قد اوهمه گرنج
And stripes, yeah.
شما میبرید داخل
Stripes.
نه یک ما پیسته
نه،
خیلی
وقتی-
نورو یوشو میره دوزین کری
And has he seen one himself?
Yeah, eating only sheep, cows.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he's seen them?
Yeah.
In recent years or a long time ago, or like last year, 2000, or
When did he see them?
چه؟ پلنگ هر سال میبینیم هر سال
Only year. Only years this man sees
با ینور فیبرال میبیو
in months January, February.
last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
January,
eating,
February,
they're eating only gazelle.
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 Sure. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Very
yeah.
many gazelle in the mountains.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
eating gazelle. So
Yeah.
gazelle.
Yeah, no, that's the
Yeah.
right word. That's good. Yeah.
This gazelle right to read book in Tajikistan.
So 2022, he's seeing tiger.
20, 90, 88.
For tiger.
Yeah. You see, I don't
that's
so much
when he
more
said
than
he saw the wild
Yeah, I'm tired by
هشتاد گفتن
سنی چرا که
Tiger or Wildman?
Tiger.
Tiger. Yeah. هم پلنگ کدام سال دارم.
هر سال میبینی.
Every year.
من 2 ماه پس دیدم بگیرم همینجا میبینم جو
After 2 months,
من جو دوربین میبینم
Tiger go
میگردم.
by this place.
But he sees every year.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
حاضر بالا بعد آن بلندای هرچی چی افت میخورد. زمستون همینجا که مخم شد بلندو برف بسیار شد و پایو میبیو.
In winter time, very many snow is mountain, no eating, and very many snow. They slowly go by down.
Okay.
And eating sees a sheep, cows.
Yeah, in the Romit Valley, people said the same thing. They come in winter. They come down in winter.
Yeah. In
And they go
Romit,
back
yeah,
up again.
In Romit,
Yeah.
yeah. Very many tiger. اینا همون مخلصی همون تایگر دیدنشون که هم چه آدم ها هجوم میکنند
نه هجوم نمیکنند.
No go to people tiger. Only see the animals. And security this place only dog. Yeah. Wow. Quickly go by outside.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. Dogs not stopping the tiger. Yeah.
3 سال پیش من پریور رفتم خرماشکور لاول بیدارو من همین چورماغ برین دیدم من هم قراسیانی هم چورماغ همین گیرتم 10 متر دیدم اون اوبوبای ایسوبا ما هیچی هم جب من نگاه کردم اسم گفتم ها گفتم مس مورا
This 4 years go to near the river give fish. The see tiger distance 5 meters. They stay near the river. There, after river, see the man. No way coming the man. This man. Goodbye. Go to another way.
Yes.
They see 1-2 minutes and slowly go to up.
Wow.
سفید
سیو Allah.
Black tiger.
سفید سیو.
So 5 meters away. That's so
5
close.
meters. 4 meter با.
من هم چورماغ بریم من بایم به همین دایرو چه بود دایرو اوسوایی.
Bu kamışın zemisine dair
5
oluyor.
meters near the big tree.
This close. Okay. So we know tiger is furry, hairy animal.
باید
Yeah.
چه بود؟
So
پشمی بود یا بی پشمی؟
هست جورا سفید سیو Allah هست کو.
Yeah.
was it
Black and white.
right? But was it long, shaggy hair?
باید
Long
چه؟
or short?
پشماشوی؟
نه بیسو دارو.
No long.
Not long.
No long.
What about around the face, like shaggy hair, or no?
روش چه بود؟
روش هم پش دارو خیلی کلیشم.
Tam da ona pişak sağ
پش
var.
پش قاس نه
No big.
No beard. No beard.
Rangi sağ.
No big.
Okay, that's interesting. And the tail, was it thin or thick? The tail.
Tail.
Yeah. Was it because some tigers the tail is very thin, and some tigers is very thick, very big.
باید دوماش چه بود؟
دوماش دراز نکی.
Very
همه رفتن با بول.
long.
Very long, but can you say whether how can you describe
He
thick or
said
thin?
like that.
Did he say so?
Yes,
That's
like
thick.
that.
Do you know what I'm doing here? I'm this is the Caspian tiger and Bengal tiger, very different like hair length and everything.
Yeah.
Because the tigers here, if they're Caspian tigers, they should be in the winter. They should be very shaggy, thick coats, big beard, and if they're Bengal tigers, the
Hangi
opposite.
parçaları olmamış?
That's very good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good race, good small story.
Thank you.
His man young old. About this story in village, his grandfather said. The sea grandfather small story in Wildman by up mountains live. At this place no live people.
Yeah.
Only 1-2 house.
Yeah.
Enough. No, at this moment very many house, very many school in this place. And the man grandfather said, this man young, by this place, wild men live for family.
Yeah.
After slowly go coming people by this place put home. and next time 1 year, 2 years, slowly they go by up. After 1980 years, they go by up, no stay here.
By 1980, they've gone.
80 years.
Yeah.
Said this story in our grandfather
So,
said for him.
what exactly did his grandfather describe what he saw?
Yeah. And this year they see grandfather, he old 80 years old.
Yeah.
80. At this moment, no grandfather.
Yeah.
His grandfather is died.
Yeah.
Yeah. About this this village.
How long ago was it when his grandfather saw the wild man? What year?
80.
1980.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah.
Yeah.
1980. Yeah. See the white man.
And did he describe it?
Yes.
Did he describe what it looked like?
Yeah. Grandfather sees a wild man.
Yeah. And
at this moment his grandfather همون وقتو پدرتون چند ساله بودن؟
باباهامون
چند ساله بودن؟
3 ساله 4 ساله بودن دیو بعد کلانتر شده و رولوسیا شدند و ایشون دقتی گویا که همون ریگا را جوهاش هست کن این کالخوز دوستی همونجا دا زندگی کرد کالخوز دوستی نباشه من اینجا با پلای میکرده که من این ادیرو با خوبا انا گویا که انا گندم کوریده زندگیشون زمستون انا خوکویا گندم نخورد گفته یا جایی من این حکیمی و لبیجای و با اسم بدونشون که اول باری که میگه همه کسا گویا که خوک شکر با و خود شکر میکردن گویا که وزبول گفته برف بالان میبریدگی بالای برف کتی پچون با تختهای گویا که وای چانه بارینده اما خیلی سخته گویا که بالای وای انا آهوش کار میکردی انا وای میکردی بعد مهر و قوت و ایمانات همه که بخواد بوده ای که گویا که همین عدیرا با میکارد کو گویا که خر پرابلم بودگی انا همو خر آوردن گفته همین تخمیه گویا که چیزی میکاردگی ده همونجا میموندگی و انا گویا که اینجا با گوشنش رفته اکوها ریشه و پیشه خوردگی رفته هوای چیزای نمیدوزیدگی مهر و قوت زور بودگی
Seven said and grandfather said this story in winter time. Wild men go by this place in winter time eating pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, pigs and beer. To beer. In Labijai, Hakimi, there are very many go by this place. Yeah, in winter time.
Eating pigs.
Yeah, and grandfather said early morning they go by outside in home. The peak of wild man see.
Prince of the wild man.
Very 80 centimeters.
Stride.
Yeah, stride.
Yeah.
Trekking and go by up. Early morning, maybe 4, 5, no go sun.
Yeah.
Quickly go by up, eating pigs.
Yeah.
The pigs die in road. Die in road.
Oh, so the pigs are already
Yeah, they scavenge them.
Eating and go by up. Yeah.
Okay.
And he said the bears do it as well.
Yeah.
So bears and the wild man eat the pigs.
Yeah.
This is historic.
Okay. Yeah.
Our grandfather.
So how do they know that the wild man is not like normal man? Do you understand?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. Can you ask him? Well, yeah. When you see a wild man, how do they know it's not a person like you or like me?
I'm درباره آدمای یابویی معلومات هست.
آدم یابویی مهان 10 سال کلانا گویا که امکامان و یا کل اویبوریگ اگر شنده باشن همون سنبا دمگیری میرن گویا که چند تا گویا یکان 30 سال پیش ده 30 سال پیش durne sih solpes hamja dam girimena şav alo kara palatka zada meşina ana odamo iki bedoraş megun ami omada ya mudor megun tanaoşan mudoran megun ami ta omada mona aş tamoşo kadar şiş megun but raf naras.
Very interesting. 30 years ago, our his grandfather go to the Obiborik, go to the Obiborik, midnight stay, put tent and sit down here. Wildman coming the near tent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, coming the near tent. They go by tent. Yadigara dida.
Ya digara didagi vayo
See the
tamoşo
wild
kara
man.
ino alo megun mui sarashi u tanaoş paş mikholi megun amakhali mona tamoşo kar.
Very many voice.
Hair?
Wild man, very many hair.
Yes.
Yeah. They see our friends and put quickly fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
After fire, the wild man چند وقت دیگه روشن دیدم.
نه بدانم وقتی اگه ممکن نیم ساعت تماشا کنم.
30 minutes will become sea, only sea. No coming for our friends' grandfather. See, when we put fire after 10 and 15 minutes, the wild man come back slowly by up. Not coming here. Only sea.
How tall were they?
Kadaş çıktılar bu?
بدان اکوایو میگن دار روزا همیش دم اونا وای کرد نگاه کرد ایستو دیسو و رفت.
Like 2 meter bile
همه خیلی
2-3 meters. Very high.
2 to 3 meters. Oh, thank you very much.
Tiger?
Yeah, shall we? Does he know? Has he ever seen or know anybody who's seen a tiger?
Yeah. Orayı palang. اون پلنگ معلومات دارید همین
پلنگ وقت است با اون بابای من زندگی کردم با
همین حوزی با هست یا نه
حاضر بایم هیانا مجابا گویا کی حیاش هست همین اوه کتی میگر اوه
winter times many two tigers coming by down
Today?
No in winter time
In winter? No, I mean
no at this moment no sea
yeah
but recent years
yeah
So 2022, 2020.
Yeah.
And he's seen tiger?
Yeah. رنگش چه باشه؟
رنگشون منامی زرد زو سیب سیاه نیست تمام رنگ سیاه.
The color green and white.
Green?
White.
Green?
Yeah.
It's very unusual for a tiger.
Green?
This is green.
No.
Green.
That's green. That's green.
No, green.
Oh, this is miscommunication. Has anybody got anything red or orange?
The color in apple.
Red.
Oh, red.
Red.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah, red.
Okay. Well, yellow. Well, yellow could be yellow.
Yeah.
Red and white.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where did he see that?
Season in winter.
Sorry?
Season in winter.
Yeah, but here. Around here.
These mountains. Very many. In winter, they're coming by down.
Yeah.
Eating sheep. Cold.
Yeah.
And can we ask about the fur on the tiger? Is it short or long? Did it have like long hair on the face, on the body?
دراز باشد یا کلته باشد؟
نه بخیلی من که کلته
Short on everywhere or just face or?
همه جاش یخه یا بدنش مش بسیار؟
نه مش بسیارو گویا که ایتا مردار همو ویا هست که یا وقتی در دنیا باید اینی تلویزیون ازبکستان با نشان داده انا اینایی کوی هیمالای ده هست که انا مخلیم
Okay. Only see the TV. The TV in Uzbekistan, in worldwide, in TV in Europe. Different. Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. How different? Do you know? Or the same as the one on TV?
Yeah. different. Sees a TV and sees this mountain.
So sorry, is the
tiger.
Is the tiger here different from the one on the TV?
Yeah, yeah.
How is it different?
Between.
Okay, different somehow. But he said short hair.
Short.
Yeah. Okay.
Short.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
This is the Anzo Pass. Pretty spectacular. The road up here is braced by tunnel after tunnel made of reinforced concrete.
It's a small tunnel. We go to the now big tunnel, 4 kilometers, 500 meters. In winter time, by this place, very many snow.
Ice caves. See the ice caves down there, like the ones in Mongolia?
Yeah.
Do you remember the ones we went in Mongolia?
We got good photos of that. Yeah. Oh, great.
Warsaw.
Despite being very beautiful, the Karatag Valley was nothing like as wild as the upper reaches of the Romit where we were in 2018.
And how did this affect the sighting reports that you got of the ghoul?
Well, the only sightings of the ghoul we got, the only accounts, were from a long time ago. There was one man who had seen it in 1988 around the Lake Peyron area, and another man said that he remembered that when he was a boy in 1978 in the village of Hakimi, an old man had seen one and been frightened to death by it, and the villagers followed the tracks and saw two of these creatures together. And there was another sighting of two of them together in a different area of the valley as well. But they were all back in the 70s and 80s, unlike the Romit Valley where we had sightings from very recently.
The logical answer to that, as far as I'm concerned, would be that the Romit Valley was less disturbed and more wild. But are there any other reasons why there are less ghoul reports from the new location?
Well, everybody said that they used to, in times past, be far more common, and they've just retreated as human beings went further into the valley. They said now you have to go beyond Lake Peyron to find them.
So, did you get up to Lake Peyron?
Well, we tried to get up to Lake Peyron, but we found that the bridge was out. There is one bridge over some rapids to the lake, and the bridge had been totally destroyed and was hanging off like a poorly attached button on a piece of string, so we couldn't get across it. So we tried to get up to another lake, another smaller lake in the area, but got completely lost in the mountains and had to come back. And then our guide took us up the next day and found the route up, but I was too ill on that day to go with them.
And were there any signs of ghoul up at this new lake?
There were none whatsoever, but there were signs of massive human disturbance, litter everywhere, tracks of people and domestic animals, and apparently it was used for angling.
I remember last time you came back from Sumatra, the last time you came back from the lake up at Gunung Tujuh that you've always visited before, and you said that now there is graffiti on some of the rocks around the lake up in the middle of nowhere in Sumatra.
Yes, there was, and litter, but there were still contemporary Orang Pendek reports, and we still found the tracks and heard it calling.
So, what did you do while you were in the new valley, once you'd found pretty much that there weren't any new or modern sightings of the ghoul itself?
Well, we were also asking about the Caspian Tiger, And virtually everybody we spoke to had seen a Caspian tiger. They said that they still live in the mountains, and they said that they come down in autumn and winter to prey on sheep and goats and cows. And we talked to person after person after person who had all seen tiger, and they say they see them every year, and they come down and take livestock every year.
That's the same story that they told you in the Rommet Valley, isn't it, of them only coming down into the lowland areas during winter?
It is, yes, yeah. And with the Rommet, we spoke to a park warden who'd seen one literally a month before we were there.
It's always good, I think, to have corroboration from two different areas, because that makes it sound less like it's local folklore and more like it's truth.
It does.
Amazingly, Lake Iskander is named after none other but Alexander the Great, who passed through Tajikistan on his rampage towards India over 300 years before the birth of Christ. The fact that a name can stick around in the lore of the area for so long is absolutely remarkable.
Beautiful lake, but surrounded by tourism. I suppose it's the landlocked equivalent of the seaside. The mountains around it are so denuded of vegetation they couldn't possibly support a hominin. And I don't think they could support a tiger either. And it's very touristy, very disturbed, and not the ideal place what we're looking for.
And we spent most of our time in the Karatag Valley. Then we moved on to Lake Iskandar, which is very beautiful, but the mountains around it have been virtually stripped of all their trees, and it's very touristy. There's a hotel there and campsites, and it's like like the Tajik equivalent of Lake Windermere. So we didn't stay there. We went on to another campsite for a couple of days, and then we went on to the Rommet Valley for the last few days because that had been so productive in 2018. And we were on the lower fork of the Rommet Valley. Last time we did both of the forks, but we could only do the lower fork this time.
Here is some bear dung that we found.
As a publicly facing sign.
Contains berries.
You're an ordinary person.
Yeah. Look at this. I mean, it's going, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Ah, Rama.
Rama.
Yeah. So, have you seen the tigers in the hills around here?
درباره تیگری که موضوع گفتیم در همین منطقه میگردم در کدوم وقت میگردم
فقط ماه اکتبر دمشه آواه
beginning to months in October
ماه اکتبر در بلاد برف میزنه یک متر 2 متر برف میزنه تا جوزا با استاد پایون میخوام
in this mountain 2 meters snow
yeah
after going 2 meters snow they're going by down slowly in tiger شما همونو میبینیتون؟
میبینیم
و آمده چیکار میکنه هم میبینید؟
میگریزه
یا اون چیز میخورد؟
خیلی دایرو کنه چون میکنه
مثال من این مسئله و چی گو گوسپان هم میشیم tiger go by this village midnight eating sheep, cows
And has he actually seen the tiger
Yeah, yeah.
himself?
شما ama gide daha mı çiğde? Yeah, yeah. The man sees a tiger.
And how long ago?
چند وقت شد اون چیزی
این همیشه دویمی هست.
Always in winter time.
Always.
Yeah.
How many times has he seen the tiger?
همون وقتی که شما دیده چند وقت دربار گرفتیم مثلا چند میلیون ساعت می همه چیز دیده گفتم
وای یا ساعت دو ساعت میگیرم
1 hours 2 hours see the
Sorry?
tiger 1 hours 2 hours
میگیرم
sees a tiger
He observes, he watches it for an hour?
1 hours yeah
For 1 hour.
Many times.
Yeah, 1 hour. Many times. Yeah, many times. Yeah, 1 hour. I asked how hours. Yeah, 1 hours.
Okay, wow. Far away, across on the hill, on top of the hill, or close? Close. Do you know how close? Say, like if I see a tiger and it's 10 meters away, or a kilometer away?
چند متر by meter by
مسافت 500 600 متر دونه میگیره
500 600 meters.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
میگیره
Is tiger sees a pupil. Stay. Maybe slowly men go near the tiger. They quickly go by up.
Yes, they're scared of people.
No
Yeah,
stay. Only just midnight go by this place.
Okay.
Midnight, many people sleep. No speaking, only sleep.
Quiet.
They slowly go see the sheep and cows eating and come back.
Okay.
To make sure. Let's see now.
درباره تاریخ هم قشلوق داوردی قشلوق یک صبح بود
This animal? Yeah.
So for sure the big tiger, not small.
این قدش چه بالان یا پست؟
قدش تا 2 متر میشه 1 متر میشه
1 meter 50 centimeters and 2 meters. Big, very
Is
big.
this long or tall?
دراز یا مایده؟
درازی
Long.
Very
2
long.
meters.
2 meters.
Including the tail.
Yeah, with tail. That
Yeah.
2 meters with tail.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
In information in village.
Could you ask him what colour?
They have معلومات.
Yeah.
مورد دهد معلومات شده که سالهای 67 68 خیلی بود که قشلوق یادو چی نداشت خیلی درختدار نبود یعنی می برمدی همه جا همین 4 طرف همین کوکه پخته همین خیلی پخته خیلی همین کوه در هر یک همین کوی همین تو 30 تا 20 تا 25 تا آفور می دیدی پلنگ می دیدی خیرسا می دیدی خوب می دیدی من سالهای که 500 600 متر می دیدیم بعد همین دوره‌های من برادر کشید автомобили کشید تا زدن همه گرفتن هرچی بود
Beginning in Soviet period.
Beginning in
Soviet period. No, by this place home. Only big mountain, very many animals, tiger, pigs, very animals. They stay here.
Yeah.
After people go by this place for select, you understand?
Yeah, shoot.
Shoot, yeah. Only animals die because they no stay here. Only go by up, slowly go by up, no stay here. And slowly the people go by cities Romit Wahdat. They're coming here and stay here, put here new family. Slowly they go by this place. At this moment, 30 family in this place.
30.
30 families.
Yeah.
And could you ask him what colour the tigers are he sees?
همون رنگی تیگری دیدگیتون چه رنگ است؟ سیاه و سفید بود؟
نه اونشون رو تو علس شور سفید
Black, white.
Black and white?
Black and white.
Right.
مش دراز یا
نه اون جلوی تنگه هم داره دراز هم داره دون نمو دایده
two tiger.
Yeah.
Jak namudasz?
Ja namun şamsa Allah hay. Mesela kaçıdaki palasat. Ayak seliş seli gulam dolar.
Two another tiger. The one tiger black, white, another tiger put here, black and
Spots. Talking about the snow leopard.
Snow leopard. Yeah.
He said there's two kinds of tigers there.
Yeah.
kinds,
Yeah.
Which kind did he see?
Kind?
Which kind did he see?
Has-
Did he see the one with the
has he
stripes?
seen-
Stripy one or the
The
spotty one?
spotty one.
این باید بسیارش کدام نمودش پیدا اونجا میشد هم رخش و پلاسه و نقطه نقطهش
Ama nokta bir şey öyle.
very many in tiger
With the spots.
with these spots
Yeah.
Has he ever seen one with
Stripes.
stripes?
no stripes many and white and black very many
Has he ever seen
yeah.
a tiger with the stripes?
کدام وقت و چیزی دیگه میشم توی پلاسه دوشم
Ama sol Medine.
yes
Yeah.
Okay, so he has seen the cat with stripes and the cat with the spots. And he's seen
Both.
many of both.
yeah many
Many of
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
Right.
When was the last time he saw the cat with the stripes?
yes
When was the last time?
the last time
Yeah. He saw the cat with the stripes.
Yeah.
Most recent.
2000,
What year?
2010, 1990, 1980, what year?
1860 1980 می‌گفتید 1880
1980?
1980
Yeah? 1980?
1980
That was the last time we saw the one with stripes.
yeah
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so is there confusion over the word tiger? I mean, there is in lots of parts of the world. When they
Yeah.
hear tiger, they don't think panther or tigris.
He did
Other kinds of
specifically
cats.
say two kinds.
Two
so one
kinds.
was
Yeah,
the-
that's why he says.
So
Yeah.
he thinks that the Soviet period they shot the tigers, yeah?
after Soviet period
After Soviet period they
many
shot them.
animals.
Right.
هم سوال چند هم اوورا وای خوشتم با همین سلیتون با فیلمنت
Sol 94. 93, 94, 95.
93
1890.
80? Sorry, carry on, yeah.
yeah 1893
1993.
Just write that down just to get
Yeah.
Halim to check.
1993
Yes, 1993.
1993.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That was the last time he saw the striped
Yeah.
tiger.
1993.
Yeah.
yes
This year. Yes. Okay. Can you ask him? Is there anyone else in the village he thinks we should talk to for these kinds of conversations? Who might help? Anybody else we should talk to?
information in the village
Yeah.
Has anybody else seen tiger here?
yeah information time همین اهالی هم اونجا میدون ده همه چیزو هستن دیگه هم
Ha o da mı yani kullanat olmuş muydu? Ne bu şey
in
bilmiyorum.
young man no see and old man this man see the information this tiger
So it's a few years since
Yeah.
tigers have been
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So there used to be striped tigers, but there are not now.
around
There used to be striped tigers
Yeah.
before,
yeah
but now no.
Now he thinks there aren't any tigers. No stripes.
before
Does he think there were still striped
yeah
tigers in the mountains now? They're still here.
همون تایگه که اوزی دربارش معلومه بودم حوزی همون بالا هستن
O balando da işte.
yes in up mountain the peak mountain
Very high.
yes stay very many high
So
Right.
today.
Today,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Do other people see them?
yes
Do other people see them? Other people, do they see the tigers
Other people in the village.
in the village?
Men that live here.
yeah
Do they also see?
اما وقت زندگی میکنه تو همینجا
She backs out.
always yes
Yeah.
always yes
Yeah.
Stay
Okay.
When was the last time somebody saw one? Does he know somebody who saw a striped tiger
like last year or this year or recently? So
Last year, maybe.
so yeah. So is there anybody? Has anybody in the village said, like, in the last few years they've seen a tiger? You know, and could we speak to them?
همین هر سال همین شماره و شماره‌اش بسیار می‌بینید یا کم می‌بینید؟
کمشلگه دوری جنگی سو کمشلگه.
Only talking by wild men.
Just hear it.
Yeah.
And what can you ask him? What did it sound like?
Midnight coming wild men.
Yeah.
Another home go eating, and go come back early morning. Midnight stay here, sleeping near the garden.
The wild man.
Yeah, wild man. He man 80 years old. Maybe this historical, maybe 18th century.
So this is like
Maybe 100, maybe 150 years ago.
oh right.
Maybe
So-
yeah,
so-
160 years ago. Yeah, yeah.
But he says he's heard it.
He's heard it. Yeah.
What does it sound like?
His father.
Oh, his
Talking
father.
his father. Talking his father. Yeah.
His father heard
Yeah,
it.
his father talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so what we're saying is his father.
پدرتون درباره همین که اینا معلومات دادن یا ندادن؟ فکر Yeah, yeah. His father.
His father.
Father and
His grandfather.
grandfather. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
Saw
Slowly go in grandfather and grandfather. He is talking and your father and your
So they
boys
tell the story.
is a boy talking is a boy. Historical this father and all his father.
About 150 years ago.
Yeah.
The wild man came and ate from the garden.
Yeah, because no many house this place, 1-2 house. Slowly they go by this place and no sea. Only this place very many animals,
Right.
pigs, bear, wolf, and other birds, very many. And winter time the ماهوی همین زمستان میفراید همین ها حیوان ها اگه مالو با ضرر ندارد دبی olan
وقت فقط گرگ خیش کسی همه گستاندو میاد و دوندو کم اگرانه بزن خر نمیمونه دندو
Does he know?
At this time, they're going by down eating sheep.
What? Wild man?
No. Bear,
Bear.
wolf.
Yeah.
Bear, wolf. Bear and wolf. Beginning at this time, maybe slowly the weather cold, rain, they're coming by down, eating sheep. This our home security, 2 dogs, 3 dogs
Yeah.
around this village.
Does he know?
Midnight, if you go by down, see the dogs and out. They are eating the dog and go to outside, see the wolf and deer. Maybe put fire there, see the fire and come back.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing if there are people here.
Does he know anybody who has seen the wild man? Does he know anybody who has seen the wild man?
No.
Has he ever seen a tiger?
درباره همین پلنگی کوهی هست تو پلنگ بابر میگن هم پلنگ همین کوه با هست یا
Show him a picture.
الان گمو خونه کوی کو لق مو برو دبر همون جای رفتی خونه همون جا ما زده که پلنگ گرفتگی
Yeah. Stripes, not spots. Stripes.
همون شخص از سرکس کاماش کرد کمال کده گردن دادم گرفتی
Yesterday we go to mountain Sonako. This place very many. This tiger, very many.
Can you check with him? Stripes, not spots. Stripes.
همین راه پلنگ رخ باشد یا پلنگ نقطه سفید دوران پلنگ؟
Allah. And bigger. Bigger, yeah.
Here.
And stripes.
Strong stripes.
Yeah.
Stripes.
And how big?
بلند یا دراز یا long
Yeah.
and 50-60 centimeters. 2 meters long.
What colour?
رنگش چیه؟ همه خیلی سویه. This and white.
Black and white. Black and white.
No black.
Oh, like
Gray.
orange.
Orange.
Orange. Yeah.
Orange.
That's really not to know that. That's great. Thank you so much. How long ago was it he saw tiger?
همین پلنگایی که میبینیتون هر سال میبینیتون یا هر وقت میشه معلومه شدیدم At this moment no go and winter time they go by down. At this moment pick up. No coming, yeah, no coming.
But still live here today. Today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
If you see the people eating.
Oh, they eat you. Rama.
نعمتی کلام آمار برای معلومات خیلی خورسان میشن و امکانتر معلومات دیم خیلی خورسان میشن
سلامت باشی خدا نگه باشون برای ریکارتون تا ایمانی کامل
خونه نزدیک است خیلی گرفتیم یک همسایه شده شنیم نکیده
خونه کیا بکنیم
نه شما دیدیم همسایه شده
We've finished. Yes, thank you.
It's interesting that the lake is still Iskandar, because that's Alexander the Great, and I think it's fascinating that centuries after Alexander's empire came and went, that he's still memorialized in the local language, even though the root of that local language, as far as he's concerned, is Greek.
Yes.
And you had a dog called Rex as well, didn't you?
Yes, on the first campsite there were several dogs, farm dogs, who looked big and fierce but were actually very friendly. Rex, Shearer and Leica.
Well, the interesting thing there, again, is that I know people call their dogs Rex in Britain, but Rex, again, is Latin for king. And the Romans did get as far as parts of Tajikistan, and it is interesting to speculate rather than them calling their dog Rex because they'd heard that Westerners call their dogs Rex, that they call it Rex because it is still a word in the local dialect of the Tajik language. That sort of stuff fascinates me. Okay, tell us a bit about some of the tiger reports.
Well, there was one guy who had seen one from a distance of 5 metres the year before. That's, 17 feet? 5 metres? 17 feet?
Something like that.
They all said that they were big, orange or red, with black and white stripes, thick tails. Basically, they all said the same story. Actually, the only difference being the distance between them and the tiger, how far away it was. It had always been in autumn or winter, and they feed on livestock, and it's just an accepted thing. They're another part of the fauna. There is some confusion in that they also call the snow leopard a tiger, but we showed them a drawing of a tiger with the stripes and they pointed it out, and all the people we spoke to said that it had stripes rather than spots. One guy had seen in the Rommet had seen two different types: the spotted one, which is the snow leopard, which was smaller, and the bigger striped one. So the difference was made when we showed him the picture. He said one had spots, the other had stripes, but everybody else said they had stripes, and they looked at a drawing I did of the tiger and said that was it. But to them it's nothing fantastical. They come down every year and they see them every year. So if you wanted to prove the continued existence of the Caspian tiger, you go and put some cameras up around the mountains and passes in the valleys of Tajikistan, bait them with animal carcasses and just leave them there over winter.
We've found over the years, haven't we, that leaving camera traps up for only a few weeks is fairly pointless, but you can get far more when you leave them up for a long time, especially in the northern hemisphere and in temperate areas.
Yeah, you leave them up for a couple of weeks, you might get a bird, but you leave them up for longer, you get all sorts of things. Having said that, we only had them up for a week or so in the Rommet last year, and we got wild boar and brown bear.
And I was just thinking about it when we had them up in Tasmania only for a week or two, and you've got enormous amounts of images of Tasmanian devils and quolls and a host of smaller creatures.
Yes, I suppose it depends on where you put them, how disturbed it is, and how much wildlife is in the area. But the longer you leave stuff up by default, the more you're going to get.
I've heard that the physical characteristics of the Caspian tiger are different from the more well-known, the physical characteristics of the more well-known Bengal tiger. Is this true, and if so, how did you take that on board?
Well, it was Darren who first thought of asking them about the length of the fur, because the Caspian tiger, like the Siberian tiger, has shaggy long fur, whereas the Bengal tiger has a shorter coat. And most of them said it had short fur rather than shaggy fur, but they all said it had a thick tail, a big long thick tail, which is indicative of the Caspian tiger. So it's a funny situation where it's got fur like the Bengal tiger, but a tail like the Caspian tiger. So whether these are surviving Caspian tigers or an expansion of the Bengal tiger, we've yet to determine, but it would be fascinating either way. I mean, the distance between India and Tajikistan, I would plump for it being surviving populations of the Caspian tiger, just on the distance between the two countries.
Where is the nearest known range of Bengal tigers?
It's a good question. These days it would be the north of India, because they're still found in the north of India and places like Nepal.
I believe they're still found in northern Pakistan as well.
I'm not sure if there's any left in Pakistan, I'd have to look that up. But we do know that they can survive at high altitudes, because the whole population of them were found in the mountains of Bhutan, where they were never suspected to be a few years ago.
So what would your bet would be, though, that they are Caspian tigers because of the distance between Tajikistan and the Indian subcontinent?
Yes.
I have also read that recently it's been claimed that the Caspian tiger and the Siberian tiger are not two separate subspecies, but are one and the same.
There's this new idea that there are not multiple species of tiger but two. There's the Sundar tiger, which is lived on the islands of Java and Sumatra and Bali, and is extinct now except for Sumatra. And then there was the mainland tigers, the Bengal, the South China, the Indo-Chinese, the Caspian, and the Siberian. And they were all the same species, and it was just slight regional differences in them, like length of hair. But I don't go for that at all. I think that they were distinct subspecies.
Yeah, I'm always very wary when politicians start playing taxonomist. It's like when Obama's government declared that the eastern puma and the western puma were the same thing, because it's a very convenient way of being able to stop paying quite a lot of money for protecting something that they can now claim doesn't need protecting. Or is that me just being cynical?
No, it's not.
So, if it is the last of the Caspian tigers, and the Caspian tiger and the Siberian tiger are two different things, two questions for you. First of all, was the range of the Caspian tiger and the range of the Siberian tiger contiguous? Did they join up, or was there a distance between them?
I think there was a distance between them. The Caspian tiger went from Turkey and the fringes of Europe all the way through Central Asia, whereas the Siberian tiger is the Russian Far East.
And what happened to the Caspian tiger? When did it start to die out? When did the range begin to collapse?
In the 20th century, from the 20s and 30s onwards, hunting, the destruction of habitat, like the big reed beds in Central Asia, hunting of prey species, rolling out of agriculture. There are different stories and different accounts of when it became extinct, ranging from 1960 all the way up to about 1990, when some border guards between Afghanistan and Tajikistan were supposed to have seen a Caspian tiger. There have been reports from the mountains of Turkey as well. But Tajikistan, as I say, they say they see them every year. And in 2018 we met two people who said they'd seen females with cubs.
If the Caspian tigers are so well known in Tajikistan, why are the powers that be ignoring it?
Well, the last time I went to Tajikistan, when I came back, I wrote up a report of all the sightings I'd collected of the Caspian tiger from the Romit Valley. I didn't mention relic hominins in it because I thought it wouldn't be taken seriously if I did. So I wrote this report and I sent it to all the tiger conservation groups I could find online, and the silence was deafening. One got back to me and said, "This is very interesting, but we only deal with Siberian tigers." Nobody was in the slightest bit interested.
You should possibly have reminded them that according to current thinking, the Siberian tiger, the Caspian tiger are the same thing, so they... But that's very, very sad, and I hope it's something that will change and that we may be partly instrumental in bringing about that change. But now let's get on to the Ghoul. Ghoul, Ghoul, Ghoul. Let's get on to the Ghoul. And first of all, before we go any further, is the word Ghoul, G-U-L, the same word as the English language, G-H-O-U-L, meaning a sort of fearsome, nasty ghost?
Yes, it is, and they're both derived from the Arabic word Ghoul, G-U-L, which was sort of a desert-dwelling, pallid, subhuman, undead creature which would appear at night and feed mainly on human carcasses, digging them up and eating them. It may have been originally based on desert burials being disturbed by hyenas and other things, but it's where we get the word ghoul from. But as the Arabic language spread, the meaning of the word also changed, and it's also applied to relic hominins, and the word shaitan, where we get the word Satan from, and in some areas is also applied to relic hominins.
And that is, of course, also linked with the name Set, the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. What have your investigations, both this time and last time, brought you to think about the Ghoul?
Well, it's an interesting thing. I thought it would be the same as the Russian Almasty, but the first expedition we did, the sightings were of a creature roughly the size of a human being, but more muscular, with longer arms, covered with hair, and with a very strange hand structure where the thumb is placed further back on the hand, so the palm area of the hand is larger and the fingers longer. And the shape of the hand is more like the hand of a chimpanzee, which is a very primitive hand structure. There was one report from the Rommet Valley in 2018 of one that was 7 feet tall. These older reports we got from the Karatag were of something bigger, or something 2 to 2.5 meters tall. So whether there are regional differences or just individual differences, I don't know.
Or possibly, I don't want to pour cold water on anything, or possibly the fact that they happened such a long time ago that this is a case of Tajik whispers, that things get exaggerated.
Mm.
And I'm sure they do, because I know that when I've talked about stuff that happened to me 40 years ago, when I've told these stories to people who were there 40 years ago, they say, "No, Jonathan, you're exaggerating." So I know that happens. What's the geographical range of the Ghoul compared to the Almasty?
Well, it goes throughout the mountainous areas of Tajikistan, up into the foothills of the Pamirs. Now the other countries around it, like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, also have their own traditions of wild men as well. Whereas the Almasty is further north in Russia proper. But what the relationship between the two is, whether there's any interbreeding, and this is all speculation though, until we get a specimen of the Almasty and a specimen of the Ghoul, we don't know what the relationship between the two is.
Do you know anything about the traditions of the Ghoul in Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan?
Very little. I know that the Snowman Commission collected stories from there, and I know that there were some prints found by, I think it was by former members of the KGB in Kazakhstan, some big humanoid footprints.
But they were found with the fingerprints burnt off with acid. Okay, I'd be interested to find out how all across Central Asia the traditions change or stay the same.
In the mountains of Pakistan and Afghanistan, where it's called Barmanu, which translates as the strong man, it's very similar, sort of man-sized but very muscular, long arms, flat nose, brow ridge, very primitive tool use, hurling rocks, using sticks but not fashioning stone axes or anything like that, no use of fire.
Do the the local people in Uzbekistan, because we can't really comment on the other places, do they think of the ghoul as an animal, a person, or a spirit?
Well, in Uzbekistan, I don't know because I've not done research there.
Tajikistan.
In Tajikistan, they think of it as a man, a primitive form of man. We spoke to them about that. They said, is it like a jinn? Is it a spirit? And they said no. And they say it's a man. It's a primitive man.
So are there the taboos which there would be against killing another man? Do they think that if they killed it, it would be murder?
I seem to recall somewhere in Prushnev's writing that in Tajikistan some of them had been killed, some of them had been shot and killed, and in one case the body was hidden because they thought the Russians would find out and then they would want the body, then they'd want the hunters to go back and get them more and more and more specimens. But there have been a number of cases of them supposedly having been shot.
So what do you think the ghoul is?
I think it is some very primitive form of hominin, a relative of one of the ancestors of man. It could be well be from one of these lineages that we don't even have fossils of, because we have genetic markers on several different populations around the world that suggest that their ancestors mated with hominins that were not even known from the fossil record. The structure of the hand seems very primitive.
So what's the next step in the CFZ hunt for the ghoul?
I don't know. I don't know where we're going next. We could be off on a completely different project. I'm interested in looking for the Iriomoti mystery cat. I'm interested in going back to Tasmania to look for the Tasmanian wolf. Interested in going back to the Gobi for the death worm. And I'm interested in going to several different areas looking for giant crocodiles. There's lots and lots and lots I want to do. But with the ghoul, I think, like we've talked about with different cryptids around the world, if we go back, we need to have satellite link cameras that we can leave in mountainous areas and leave them over winter, possibly with animal carcasses there as bait, and see what turns up and download the photos maybe once a week